Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a short but wow, incredibly powerful text. It's all about a philosophy on what it means to be truly and fully human, and it's all built around 8 key ideas.
So right off the bat, this philosophy kicks off with a really provocative statement. It immediately sets the stakes sky high. It's framing these rights not as some kind of privilege, but as fundamental entitlements. And it argues that if you don't have them, well, that's direct proof that they've been taken from you. All right, let's dive right in. Here's our game plan. First, we'll introduce the core framework. Then we'll break down these 8 rights into 3 distinct groups. After that, we're going to look at what happens when these rights are missing, and we'll wrap up with the philosophy's final, really challenging question for all of us.
So what's this framework really built on? What's the central idea that holds this entire philosophy together?
Well, it all boils down to this one single number, 8. 8 fundamental rights that this philosophy argues aren't just important, but are absolutely essential to living a complete human life. So, the big question is, what are they?
Okay, let's see how this whole thing is built. We're going to start with the first 3 rights, and these are all about the real physical stuff, our existence, our work, and our ability to just move through the world.
First up, and this is the big one, is the right to exist. This idea is framed as the absolute bedrock, right? It's the basic right to life itself. The text is super clear here. To prevent someone from living is to strip them of this most foundational right.
Building right on top of that is the right to create. This is basically the right to productive work, to labor on the land that supports us. This philosophy pretty much equates it with our ability to build things, to produce, to contribute.
And the third one in this group, that's the right to migrate. It's defined as the freedom to move anywhere on Earth to chase a better life. So it's not just about movement, it's movement that's tied directly to improving your own situation.
Okay, so we're shifting gears now. We're moving from the physical world into the intellectual one. These next 2 rights, they focus entirely on the mind, and crucially, our ability to express what's going on inside of it.
First up in this group, we have the right to speak. And the argument here is actually pretty specific. It says a mouth isn't just for eating, right? It's got a higher purpose, to express our will and connect with other people. It's basically the essential tool that lets our inner world interact with the outer world.
And paired right alongside speech is the right to think. This is presented as just a natural power we have. And the language gets really stark here, suggesting that to live without your own independent thoughts, well, that's no better than being an animal.
All right, so the final group of rights brings it all back home, to the individual. This is all about autonomy, control over our physical selves, our minds, and our personal choices.
And what's so striking about this one is just how direct it is. The right to your own body is presented as absolute, period. You have free control over your body because it belongs to you and to no one else. Following right after that is the right to learn. And this is defined super broadly. It's the freedom to pursue any knowledge or any skill you want. And in this way of thinking, preventing someone from learning isn't just bad, it's considered a deep violation of their human rights.
And finally, we've got the right to refuse. This is all about the power to just say no. When a request or an idea doesn't line up with your own preferences or your own will, it's basically your own personal veto power.
So here's the crucial point. Why do these 8 specific rights matter so much? Well, the philosophy wraps up by painting a picture of 2 completely different worlds, depending on whether you have these rights or not.
And the distinction it draws is, wow, it's stark. On one hand, you have a society where people have all 8 rights. That leads to happiness, joy, freedom, and peace. But on the other hand, if even one of those rights is missing, the result is pain, suffering, and a society just filled with conflict and struggle.
And that brings us right to the end of this philosophy. See, it doesn't just leave all this as some kind of theoretical exercise. No, it turns the entire concept into a very personal challenge.
The whole framework finishes by asking you a direct question. It's meant to be a moment of real self-reflection. It's asking you to look at this list, look at your own life, and answer the question for yourself. Do you possess these 8 rights?
And it all ends on this final, incredibly powerful call to action. The final assertion is this: if your answer is no, then you have to strive to reclaim what's been taken from you. It's a challenge not just to recognize these rights, but to actively fight for them, to take them back, and in doing that, to finally live a truly human life.